right now. All right, this is just for my buddy. Don't say anything uncouth or
I won't.
Generally, that is Bruce Brewer, PT extraordinaire. He's really not very bright in most fields of life, but somehow he's learned to master this.
That's very true. We won't speak about the other.
All right, feeling the hips. You can't see that because the belly.
Yeah, there's the belly. The hips are under there somewhere. You actually look square, Doug.
I know, I feel pretty good.
You really do.
So there's him feeling the hips, see? All right,
you got to look for alignment of the ASIS right there.
Can you basically do like your regular routine that you would do with me when I was bad? Like, so you're feeling the...
So umbilicus and ASIS, here's your hip flexor right here.
This one feels
good.
Yeah, this feels good.
Which for you, day one, was...
terrible.
Awful. And the psoas is on the front of your spine and attaches to the front of your hip. So it can really be implicated in back and hip.
Yeah, dude, the first time you did that, I thought I was going to relieve myself on your table.
Yeah. But you wanted Graston, whatever.
That's what brought me here.
I know.
I heard there was Graston here. I thought that would do it. Dude, I was desperate.
I could use tools on you. Didn't get nowhere. If that's what you want.
This guy's got an attitude. He does.
So we just released this for as long as I feel like we need to.
All right.
For you now, it's not nearly as bad as it was.
Bruce, tell the camera why this isn't about core strength.
In my own words, huh?
Your own words.
What have I told you before about that?
You told me if it was about core strength, why are there obese people walking around with no back problems?
True. So I don't negate the importance of having a good core, but there are plenty of people out there that you walk past every day that do not have proper core strength.
There are other people who have great core strength and they still have back problems.
Correct. So now, can that be helpful to get somebody's core stronger? Yes. Like if somebody has a weak hip or abdominals that they don't even know how to engage, then yeah, that does need to be addressed. But to send somebody to PT just for core strengthening, I think is insane.
That's pretty much what all the guys were doing. They send me home with like assignments of 20 things to do.
Yeah, and that's what PTs do when they don't know what else to do. They give you more exercises, and then you have a list of like 35 things to do, and you don't have time. You do none of them.
Yep.
So if you don't address the impairments and the mechanical problems that are going on, usually is what the case is, then you're trying to build strength on dysfunction, and you got to fix the dysfunction first.
So why didn't chiropractic fix me?
Don't know what they did, but I think
standard adjustments.
If you have a chiropractor that manipulates or adjusts a part of the spine or pelvis that's stiff, that's probably what you need. But then there needs to be some soft tissue neuromuscular type re-education to change the kind of the neuromuscular control of that segment, whether it's tight or stiff or weak. That needs to be addressed with certain things.
The reason the spine's where it is not because the spine's because of the muscles, right?
Say that again.
The reason that the spine is off is not because of the spine; it's because muscles, like
Correct.
Pulling it and yanking it.
Correct. Usually, now you can have some mechanical dysfunction that's more based on the bony architecture, but a lot of times most chronic things are soft tissue based. I think.
Okay.
All right, so you're pretty good there. Okay.
Right.
Why don't we stretch that?
Uh-huh.
So why don't you roll on your left?
On my left.
Yeah. We'll stretch this hip flexor. And this is the way I do it manually. Just have to stabilize the pelvis. And then stretch the front. And because we sit most of our day, this muscle gets shortened and tight. Unless we bring our hip into extension, whether it be with exercise or running or what have you.
See if I can get a better view.
So this friend of yours,
yeah,
has he had PT before?
He's had everything.
Okay.
He's had PT, he's had chiropractic, he's done. I mean,
and he may
he's
need
also
surgery.
He's already had surgery.
And it didn't help?
Helped for a long time, but now he's got a lot of sciatica shooting down his left. Basically, the big problem that he has is he sits for a long time.
Yeah.
And when he stands up, it hurts. He can sit for a little while, fine, stand for a long time, but when he sits for a long time, and then he stands up, it's like shooting pain. What's your thought on that? Have to see it?
Have to see it. I mean, it could be a hip flexor thing.
Switch?
But I would assume that he's had therapy that it's addressed hip flexor. That's
Doesn't
just
sound
an
like he's
assumption.
ever had anything like what I've had. He's blown away that I can train jiu-jitsu after he saw my MRI. He's like, oh, that's surgery. He's blown away that I'm able to train jiu-jitsu. That's why he wants to be filming this right
now. But if he had just butts and guts stuff, in terms of PT, is what I call him,
yeah,
then I think you missed the boat.
Yep.
And I don't know. I would assume that he's been to somebody that's done maybe not exactly what I do, but something similar, you know? Because this isn't. I'm not like.
You're not doing anything that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science.
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to 6 or 7 PTs and no one did this.
Which I think is crazy. I just do.
Maybe it's because we live in the sticks in Richmond.
You also see that wasn't necessary. You know,
Richmond born and
this
raised.
negative.
I
No, I wasn't
love
born and
Richmond.
raised here. Okay,
I don't know what he is. Now.
jerk. So now,
Yeah, this was.
piriformis type stuff.
I.e. ass muscle.
Yep. And for you, this left piriformis was really, really tight,
Yeah.
and I'm releasing it right now. And initially, your sacrum, your position was all cattywampus.
Yeah, but now it's good.
It is good. And the piriformis can rotate your sacrum and kind of get it stuck.
All right, when's the last time I was in here?
Has it been over a month?
It's been about a month.
Yeah, probably a
I
month.
mean, and I'm fine, right?
Yeah, you've gotten back to...
I'm getting good now.
You were individually training. Are you back to group stuff now?
Group stuff.
Yeah,
I
great.
sparred 4 times this morning.
That's great. And you look thinner and more healthy.
I'm dropped about 14 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, dude, I was 195. I still got 10 more pounds to go.
Good for you. It's great. It's great.
All right. This is always a big part of it. And then we show how you do like the length, because the length stuff is very much similar to
The length stuff? What do you mean?
where you check the length on my. You used to always have to check and yank on one of my feet,
Yes.
and then you would also do that thing where you cup my heel and I would push against it. That seems like a
Okay. All right. Yeah, and because your pelvis looks square, I didn't do that.
But because you don't need to now. But that was a huge thing you would always do for me, right?
Yeah. And then that first day I manipulated you. Remember, you were really stiff, and I.
Yeah, very very moderate manipulation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. Okay.
He looks for every opportunity to touch my ass.
So flip on your back. Let's do the thing that you were asking me to do that we didn't need to do. So just
On
so
my back,
Yeah.
so you can see it.
Yeah. So
You need my feet over the edge.
no, you're good. So I basically just kind of give some tension there, and I check medial malleolus bilaterally and make sure that they look square, which they do today for you. Then we climb up here to ASIS, make sure that we're watching for symmetry, and you look totally square. Now, typically, you're kind of rotated forward on the right. Okay.
I've been training a lot too.
This one's lower than the left. Say it again.
I've been training regularly.
And you're not out of whack, which is great.
Yeah.
So then, if you were out of whack, though, I would bring you to a barrier this way, and I would have you here, and then pushing into my hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pushing.
Yeah. And
And
I'm
then
just
you-
resisting
And then you rotate it, don't you? Or do you just leave it there?
and relax. And then I bring you up, adduct you, rotate you a little bit, push. So those are your barriers that I'm feeling for, that tell me that we're engaging that part of the pelvis that we need to use to our advantage. Push one more time.
Okay.
That's great. Then if I were to, the upslip that we had the first day, that's where you're on your belly and I yank that left leg.
Yeah, if
You also had positive straight leg raise, which was, remember day one?
oh yeah,
lifting
you would
up and
yank.
you were-
Do that because that
you were
was
awful.
crazy
So
for
the
me.
first day you were kind of
How you would yank it? Yeah. Not even there,
Do
dude.
you have any trouble?
I mean, not pain. I'm just tight.
You're just tight, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not flexible.
So the other trick that I did with you was a straight leg raise traction technique, where I would give a little traction on the leg, and then be able to take you beyond your barrier
That's right. Yeah.
and mobilize this leg upward.
Yeah, that really started opening up.
And that's when, remember, you couldn't bend forward at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I do.
And then
Dude, it's funny because I didn't remember all this stuff till you start doing all this. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why you have to kind of change your, based on how somebody presents, is how you treat them. Is how
Do you want me to put this on YouTube?
But if I were to manipulate that, you would be on your belly, and I would yank the leg. Remember that? Where we kind of
Yeah.
were there, and I
Yeah.
kind of did.
Yep, I remember.
Okay. Then the only other thing that I do, which is on your belly, is that I see how your lumbar spine is feeling, And typically on the left L3-4, you've been a little stiff, and I'll do some PAs there.
Oh, and then you would use your elbow too.
Yeah. So you want to film that or no?
I don't think I
I
can.
don't think you can.
All right. So is that the end of it?
That's it.
All right. Bye, Bruce.
See you, buddy.